We are on the air. Welcome to Bobcat Insider, live on Concho Sports Network here at Shenanigans Sports Bar and Grill, brought to you by Shenanigans and your friends at Luke's Cage, home of the Luke's Cage Fighting Central Bobcats. First down. Coach Mark Smith is along with us. I'm Darren Prater. Arlen Ponder is here. We have 3 games left in the regular season. Get on into those playoffs. Let's talk about last Friday.
That's the goal. Yeah, let's do what we got to do here and get in the playoffs here.
I'm being very positive today.
No, I believe it. I think that's what's going to happen. I firmly believe we have a team that's in position, that's ready to go. We've played 2 really tough games here to open the district play. Close in both of them, but not quite there to be able to get over the hump. We had some, self-inflicted wounds. Seems to be, an issue that we've had from time to time this year, whether it's a negative play on offense, defense, or kicking game that just kind of, really hurts the team. And so we got to do something to clean those things up. We get those things cleaned up, then I like our chances against the people that we have. But like I say, each time, these games in 2-6A are 48-minute fist fights, and you got to be ready to go. And the team has been prepared and ready to come out and play. We got to eliminate the mistakes. Don't let the Bobcats beat the Bobcats. Make the other team beat us. And there's always those handful of plays, 5 or 6 plays in each game, and you never know when they are. But you look back and say, man, those right there, okay? Yeah. If we can just reverse what happened in those plays, we have a different outcome in a game. So that's the mental focus and mental intensity that's required to play all the time, is I got to be at my best, never knowing when those plays may be the one that this is going to be one that makes a difference in the game. But, man, we got a team that's poised, that's ready to go, ready for a new challenge this week, a whole different, offensive scheme that we're going to see here with Midland High, and a team that's playing well right now.
And they still run they
run a triple option.
Yep.
So it's something unique. We don't see that at all. And, it's a competitive advantage for a team like that whenever no one else really does what they do. Right. So, from a defensive perspective with us, you got to tear kind of the game plan down to the studs. You'll see different personnel and different things out there that we have. But this is a game that, you don't just prepare for the week of. It's something that our defensive staff and myself have been looking at for over a year about how we're going to defend these guys and study what a lot of different people do to them, what the staff has done at different places where we've, faced different opponents like this. I've played similar, offenses several times in my career, whether it be Air Force or Navy. In my time in college football, played both of those several times that have all these option principles and kind of what to do. So I think we put together a great plan, that we can really attack, what they're trying to do. And then, we'll see what happens on Friday.
Mm-hmm. And then they're dropping back also and throwing the ball a little bit, are they? Or
they do a little bit. I think if you ask their coach, he'd probably like their stat sheet to look like something like 50 rushes, for 350 yards and 4 of 6 passing for 190, because they're always big plays whenever they do throw the ball, because you have to commit so many people to the run game with them. So they do. At the end of the day, they would really love, a game where they ran it, 50 times and threw it, about 6 or 8 times.
Yeah. I wanted to go over this with you. Gavin Black is the single-season rushing leader for Odessa Permian. He had over a 2,000-yard season last season to take that number 1 slot in a school that's had a lot of good running backs. He had 10 carries for, 46 yards Friday, and that says a lot
great
about
run defense. Great run defense, on Friday night, and that's something that, we always – as we're preparing for a game, you want to make sure that you take care of the run game. You got to be sound in your run fits. You got to do a great job, in those things, and then make the team kind of one-dimensional with what they can do. If you can't stop a team from running the football, it's going to be challenging, for you, and vice versa. If we can establish a running game, it's challenging for the other team. So, we kind of take that perspective, on both sides of the ball as we get prepared and ready to go into a game. Let's be great in run defense. Let's have some creative ways to run the football, gain control of the line of scrimmage, and then keep playing.
The Z-Train, Xavion Johnson had 26 carries, 159 yards.
Yeah, great game.
And a touchdown. I saw some different things with the running game. The two guys, one guy on each side of Micah, was it kind of a pistol thing?
Yeah, we had kind of a diamond formation right there.
Diamond formation.
Yeah, 2 on each side and 1 in the back, and we shifted to it and, got it from a different look into that look, and then that's kind of the creativity where there's always new additions with what you're doing, but built within your system. As you're putting together an offense, and as we did with this offense here for this season, you've got kind of your base things. And so then you add little wrinkles to those things throughout the course of the year. And right now we've run 53 different offensive formations this year. So as you're looking at that from a defensive perspective, that's a lot of different things to prepare for. We're in and out of different personnel groupings. We're lining up with 2 tight ends. We're lining up with no backs, 2 tight ends, 3 wide outs. We're lining up with traditional 10 personnel. I mean, it's a challenging offense to be able to match personnel with, because we got some skilled guys that can do a lot of different things.
Well, and then I saw some pre-snap motion that you added, some pre-snap motion a little more.
I love doing that. You know, I think that, you know, from an offensive perspective, as you're thinking about, you know, how to move the ball down the field. Number one, it comes down to players. Think players. Who do you want to get the ball to? Okay. Number two, formations. You know, how can you formationally dictate their alignments defensively to that? And then the last is plays. I think a lot of people get it reversed, and they think, I got a neat play that I've got drawn up right here. I think there's a great deal of work that goes into the setup of that play, you know, and sequencing and play calling. So I think pre-snap motions, you know, what does that do? That tells the quarterback a lot of things. If it may be a pass play, then you can tell, are they running with this guy across? Okay, we got man coverage. I know now where I want to get my eyes to go with the ball. If you see them adjusting into zone, all right, we got zone. What type of zone is that? Okay. If they don't move anybody, then you know you got numbers on the other side. If they adjust in a certain way, then that should tell you certain things. So every motion it has a specific reason that we want to do that for, and that it gives everybody on the field a lot of different ideas about what's going to happen with that play. So yeah, I like that. And you know, the purpose there is if you can just get one guy out of a gap defensively, you know, then the ball will find that gap, and you get a good play.
You have confidence in your tight ends that they can block.
I do. You know, we've been 12 personnel or 11 84% of the time during this season. Our number one personnel grouping is 12. That's 1 back, 2 tight ends. So we've been in that 45% of the time. And then next is 40% of the time in 11P, which is 1 back, 1 tight end, 3 wideouts. So it's really good. And when you can do things with multiple tight ends, and they're both physical blockers at the point of attack, and they're both skilled enough to get outside and catch the ball, it does. It creates matchup problems. So you see on the sideline a lot of time, somebody's holding up a yellow sign that's got a number on it. That's the personnel that's in the game. So, you know, and then you know, all right, a lot of defenses match personnel.
Right.
Okay, if you're going to be in there and you're going to have 2 tight ends in the game, I'm thinking there's 2 more bodies on the line of scrimmage. I'm going to put some more big guys in there and match this, so we're sound in the run game. Well, we have the ability to get in 12 personnel and then spread both of those guys out. So if you match that with big people, we can keep you in a spread formation and then attack you that way. So that's the chess game that's constantly being played throughout the course of the game.
In my feeble football mind, I noticed that the tight ends have a lot of the motion in our offense.
Yeah, they do. We motion wideouts in and out. Tight ends are a lot of what we do. So, you know, that's really good. You know, I think whenever you move a big guy, it really creates, whenever they move from one side to another, that's 2 gaps that you've created on that other side of the ball. So, you know, sound run defense, how many blockers do they have? I need to have 1 more defender than blockers. If there's 6 blockers, I need 7 defenders to fit the run correctly. So when you move a tight end or both tight ends from one side to another, you've now taken 3 gaps over to the other side. And if they don't adjust, then they're in trouble.
What do you call that when you stack the receivers, where there's one, they're lined up one behind the other?
Stack, just that.
It's just stacked? There's no
stack.
special names?
Stacks and bunches are good, you know, offensively, whenever that softens coverage. You know, if you got a team that plays a lot of man coverage and they can line up and a corner can get right in somebody's face, you motion to a stack, it softens coverage right there. You get into a bunch, it softens coverage. So you're doing that to be able to get some room there on the line of scrimmage, and also, you know, kind of dictate what the other team is going to do. So you do a lot of study throughout the course of the week. How do they align versus this formation? How do they align versus this? Doesn't mean they'll do it in the game, but you build some, you know, predictability. And, you know, anytime that you can be on the positive side of predictability, you know, you've got an advantage offensively.
It's really hard when
we
you
get
play
into it today.
When you play
like
a team that's predictable, you still can't stop it. I know we've all been in that situation before, but it wasn't. That didn't happen Friday night.
Sometimes their Jimmys and Joes are better than yours, you know, and that's when they can just line up and do that. But, you know, we've had some great individual matchups throughout the course of these first 2 district games where they've made plays and we've made plays, and it's just, you know, heavyweight fight right there with punches going back on both sides, and who can just land a few more haymakers than the other team.
and never really out of the game Friday night. You were never out of that game.
No, we weren't. You know, and I think that, you know, we got to capitalize on a few more things. Let's find a way to get the ball in the end zone when it's 1st and goal on the 1. Let's not be penalized on the field goal that got taken off the board at the end of the first half and missed that. We had a 14-point swing on the opening drive of the game there. We just did some things, you know, that it's hard to overcome, you know.
And I wanted to ask
able
you,
to do that.
What was wrong on that field goal
The illegal
kick?
formation.
The illegal formation.
Yeah, the tight end on the left side wasn't on the line of scrimmage.
Okay.
You know, sometimes they kind of have a little waterfall, those guys, with the center, guard, tackle, tight end. But you have to, you cannot break the plane of the center's butt right there on that. So if you're deeper, if your helmet is deeper than his rear end, then you're not on the line of scrimmage. So we were a little deep in that. And it was, you know, something we got to just kind of tighten up there a little bit more. And we did on the second one, but unfortunately missed the kick and kind of a momentum swing there right at the end of the half.
You've given us something new to look for now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Because we always learn something from you every time we start getting into X's and O's.
You can't have more than 5 in the backfield, so that's what that was considered. So he was a little too deep there.
And then the other one on the other field goal, I swear I saw the back judge indicate tip whenever we got the ref in the kicker penalty.
I didn't notice that. If that was the case, I did not notice that.
I would swear I saw him.
I didn't agree with that call. I think we dove out a good 3 yards in front of where the kicker was, and we reminded him because it came out of a timeout right there on what to do. So the kicker comes through and he kicks, and then his momentum on his plant leg will carry that plant leg up and pick it up and land. You got to give him room to land that plant leg, but he landed, and then another one. He kind of boom, and so anyways, they didn't quite see it the way that I did, but we did give him room to land, but an additional land. You know, at a certain point as a kicker, you can just keep moving forward to wherever that guy is and fall over.
Well, if it's any consolation, we didn't see it that way either.
Yeah.
So.
Arlen was running hot. When he gets to running hot, if I see a phone go flying, I know something's –
I tell you what, you know, I've had my issues with Permian Basin officiating crews. That was a good crew. I thought that was a solid crew that did a good job. And, you know, are they going to get everything exactly the way I see it? No. But I thought it was a good officiated game. Yeah.
a little kerfuffle at the beginning of the game that turned out to be a penalty on them. I looked down the field, and you're right in the middle. Fired up.
I like that.
Elijah gets up. He had to sit out of play. His helmet
came off, but I was really proud of him. He kept his poise in a moment right there when, you know, they were going to get a personal foul, and he didn't retaliate right there. So I was really, really proud of him. Yeah, kept his poise, and that really helped the team. First down for us. Okay, bad situation for them.
Yeah. Right.
His Axiom or Speed Flex helmet, which one came off?
He's got a Speed Flex. Yeah, he got a Speed Flex. This is a Shut right here.
Yeah.
So
that's the old F7.
This is the Shut F7.
I've gone down the rabbit hole on helmets thanks to you.
Yep.
Because I've been watching this kind of stuff.
Yeah, this is a great helmet. We've got all Riddell helmets on our varsity team.
As the game started, I said the Bobcats look resplendent in their Axiom and Speed Flex from Riddell helmets, and I didn't get paid to say that.
Need to get a sponsorship from Riddell. Yeah, you should.
And I've studied it enough to know that the Vicus doesn't work real well in cold weather.
Yep, it's a great helmet. We have Oscar Herrera wears that helmet. Yeah, he's the only one on our team that wears that helmet. It's a great helmet. You know, everybody else is in these. That's a personal helmet that he's had, and so we like that. If a guy's got something they're really comfortable with,
we don't have to worry about freezing temperatures here.
The issue with headgear, is that these things, every different manufacturer has different parts. That button, these screws, they're all different for Shut than they are for Riddell, than they are for the Vicus and all that. So it becomes kind of an issue if you've got a lot of different helmets on your team, and that equipment. Truck back there in the back, that trailer has got to have a bunch of different stuff in it. So we're just Riddell on the sideline on Friday nights. It's easier to repair when something happens, and we do have that one Vicus helmet. Yep.
Does anybody ever, because you know who I'm talking about, attorney at law, Heath Allen. We went on a football trip in junior high, and he forgot his ear pads.
Oh, boy.
Does that ever happen anymore? I just want to ask you, who's in charge of making sure everybody has their stuff
Jake Lyles
packed up?
is our equipment manager, but the players are responsible for their own gear. So we make sure that they go in and they double-check and triple-check everything that they have. But we have a massive container that we travel with us, and it's got a little bit of everything in it. And, you know, we're prepared for anything. We got extra helmets, shoulder pads, chin straps, knee pads. jock straps, we got it all. Okay?
So
should
if
something
anybody
happen.
should go missing one, you do have spare parts.
We got everything.
We had one game where one of my D linemen forgot his one cleat. He showed up with one cleat, so I had to go ask the opposing coach, hey, and he takes me in and goes, yeah, just pick what you want. And he pulls out, I said, I need size 15.
Yeah.
And, luckily they had a size 15.
Well, they helped you out, and that's good. But, yeah, we got everything in there. You know what we have in there? We have chalk, old school chalk in there, okay? Because I've been in some locker rooms where it's an old school chalkboard and it's not a dry erase board and all that. So we got everything ready to go in case you never know. They may give you an old chalkboard. So, we're like the Boy Scouts. We want to always be prepared no matter what situation we're walking into.
Perfect. And one of the things we wanted to talk about was halftime adjustments. Y'all were driving the ball. It seems like that they made a great halftime adjustment, a couple of adjustments.
Yep, that's a good advantage, and we did the same thing in there and had some new wrinkles for them as well to help us get some stops and to move the ball as well. The iPads have really changed the game at halftime. We've got 5 of those that come down from the press box, and we split them up with our coaching groups in the locker room in there, and we can literally watch the game back as it was played. A lot of times on the headsets you'll see something will happen in there, and a coach will say, hey, mark that one. So they want to make sure I got a little nice tight cut up here for my position group where it's these 8 plays that I really got to review something with the guys as I get there at halftime. But it's also instant feedback. A play gets over, you can literally be watching it right there and say, this is what happened there. This is how we executed that play. And that gets communicated down. And then when one side of the ball is on the sideline and the other side is on the field, then you're going over it. They're telling you everything that happened so I can draw it up for my guys. You don't have the digital technology on the field during it, but we have it in the press box, and you can take it down at halftime and show it there as well.
Have you encountered a stadium yet that in the locker room had a video set up ready for you with a screen?
Oh no, they won't do that. They kind of make it hard on you. They turn the air up a little bit in there and make sure there's no hot water left in the water heater. So yeah, we do. We bring everything. We got fans because sometimes it's really hot. When we went to where was it? Belton. That was one of the tightest, cramped locker rooms I've been in. And so we brought some fans and everything because we knew, what was going to happen in there and how the setup was going to be. But we got an early crew that goes out, gets to the stadium a few hours before everybody else. They set the locker room up with position groups around the locker room so they're all sitting in the same spot. We got snacks and everything that they want in there to help fuel their bodies and make sure that it's nice and cool in there for the guys.
We always get into subjects that I think people wonder about and nobody ever talks about, and I'm glad that we do.
Yep.
Who is responsible for getting those snacks ready? Do you have snacks before you leave?
We do. Josh Huffman's our director of football operations, and that's one of the many things that he helps handle. So he goes and gets all that, the day before the game, and then we got a big box truck that travels with us everywhere we go, and we pack it with everything that we need. And one of the things, we got a crate that goes on there that has bananas, fruit, salty snacks, all kinds of stuff, and then we set it all out on a big table. And so it's just kind of like a buffet of all that in there. So the guys get some during pregame, they get some at halftime. It's all right there for them. Of course, we got Gatorade and water and all the hydration things as well. Cool. But yeah, you got to fuel yourself the right way. You can't play well on an empty stomach, and so we got to make sure we put the right stuff in them.
Now, how much of that was that you brought from your experience with coaching in collegiate level?
Yeah.
How much of that came over with
a little bit of it, probably a fair amount of it, has been there. Nutrition is a big piece to what goes on. They had been providing that kind of stuff to a certain extent to the players there, but we've kind of ramped it up a little bit. Everything is kind of magnified. We do it a little bit more than they probably did before, and it's cost us a few more dollars. We got to have a nice fundraiser every year to make sure we do it. I tell people all the time, they didn't bring me here to balance the budget. Brought me here to win games.
Right.
Okay? At the end of the day, that's what we do. So if we need it, we're going to go get it. And we got great support and great people in this community that have made it very easy for us to go do everything we need to do.
I've noticed one of my favorite things to snack on, those Uncrustables, peanut butter and jelly. A lot of the college team, that seems to be a staple.
Yeah, we have those as well. We got about 100 of them that are part of that table, every game, and they're gone, okay, by the time that the night is over.
I'm going to have to stop by. That's my favorite thing.
We put them in the freezer the night before when we get them. They put them in the freezer, so then we get them out and we travel wherever we're going, so they kind of thaw out a little bit, but you like them kind of pretty cold.
Oh,
that
man,
way.
frozen's my favorite way to eat those.
Yep.
So it's a dogfight every week, and that's
Every
what
week.
makes this district so fun. And I hope it always stays that way. It's not as fun when it gets, picked apart and sent
it
other
certainly
ways.
is. Yeah, it certainly is. And we got a lot of good coaches, good teams, good players throughout this league. And so this week will be another one of those.
You can have a good team in this district.
And be
Army
sitting at
learned
home.
last year, you can go
Yeah.
7-0, lose your last 3. It's never really a given most weeks.
Yep.
Unfortunately, it didn't. An 8-point loss last week. We drove the ball on them. We ran the ball well. We passed the ball well most of the time. We stopped them. Didn't go our way. And Permian, doggone it, they do that to us a lot. But our time's coming, and we can put that behind us now because there's 3 big games left and maybe more.
Yep.
And we'll talk about
We're counting on it.
that game coming up at San Angelo Stadium. By the way, fans traveled really well Friday.
They did. It's great support. The Bobcats travel. Bobcat Nation is always there and supportive. And, we got great people, and they cheer on the guys in the orange helmets. And hopefully we have a stadium full Friday night like we did last week. I anticipate that. We got great crowds at home, and it'll be a great night, senior night. We're going to recognize all our seniors this Friday night, so that'll be really special for the contribution that all of those guys have made to this program. And Team 107, it'll be a fun night.
107 on that bumper.
Yep.
All right. We have some celebrities with us.
We do.
Say, Colton Hill is with us.
Colton is right out here. Jimmy Edwards. We're going to get him up here in a minute. We're going to get those guys up
Friday.
and say hi.
You betcha.
Yeah.
That's
Micah's right over here. Yep.
Micah Smith is here.
We got Brian Steely right there. We got Luke's Cage himself is right here.
Cage himself.
Yeah.
And Maylee Kay's keeping them all in check over there, telling jokes.
Yep.
We'll be back on Bobcats Insider. We'll talk to some of the Bobcats. Got a big game coming up Friday. Hope you'll all be there senior night, and we'll talk more about it coming up on Bobcat Insider from Shenanigans, brought to you by Luke's Cage, Shenanigans, and on Concho Sports. Stick around.
First Community Federal Credit Union's Platinum Visa is a giant of a credit card. With great low rates, no annual fee, no balance transfer fee, and even a rewards option, First Community's Platinum Visa is the card for you. With security as a high priority, you can lock your card in case it's lost, stolen, or just to limit its use. So be smart, bank smart with First Community Federal Credit Union's Platinum Visa.
At Schertz Landscape, we care about the quality of trees that you put in your landscape. Therefore, we grow our trees here locally in the Concho Valley. As a certified arborist, I not only care about the quality of your tree being planted, but I am also qualified as a tree risk assessor. I can evaluate the health of an older tree or the risk that it may have to you and your property. Come see us at Schertz Landscape, where we care about the quality of your trees.
Pain is never planned, and recovery time is never convenient. But the last thing you want to do is wait for answers. At Angelo MRI, you are more than a number. We can get you results within 24 hours at a price you can afford. So when you need to get back into the game fast, tell your doctor you want to go to Angelo MRI. We hope you don't need us this season. But in case you do, remember, it's your health, your choice, your MRI.
Deep discounts and low prices on all 2025s in stock. 2026 vehicles are rolling in, and we're forced to start our 2025 year-end clearance event now. Get $12,000 off this new 2025 GMC Sierra. $12,000 off. Or save $5,000 off this new 2025 GMC Acadia. Deep discounts, low prices during our 2025 year-end clearance event. Only at Mitchell Buick GMC, your hometown dealer.
Would you like a time-lapse of your construction project? Damon Bell Photography and Drone Services. Need to check your roof for hail damage but don't want to climb up that rickety ladder? Perhaps you're selling property. We also cover sports and weddings. Damon Bell Photography and Drone Services.
Friendship being The Z train.
Oh. Welcome back to Bobcat Insider on Concho Sports Network here at Shenanigans. Chiefs Insider's coming up next for you Chiefs fans. We'll let you know, though, we do this on Mondays during football season. Come get you a meal, get you a little something other to eat, bring the family, and look what the cat drug in today. It's Jimmy Edwards at Colton Hill. Bobcats. It's taking y'all a while to come talk to us, guys.
Yeah.
Glad to have y'all on, man.
Sir. Thanks for having us. Yep.
Well, let's give Jimmy some love first, man. You had a great game Friday night.
Thank you.
Tell us about that. You had 140 yards and a touchdown. Goodness gracious! Tell us about this. Did you tip it to yourself or did you just bring it in?
I just reached out and it stuck because Gavin gave me some of this spray he got off the TikTok shop. The spray on my gloves to clean them. So it
Gorilla Glue.
Yeah, it like helped clean them. And I when I reached out to grab it, it just stuck right in there, and I just started running to the end zone.
That was you showed some determination Friday night, man.
Thank you.
And Colton, we always know you're going to show up.
Yes, sir.
So, Jimmy, was that your favorite catch of all time, or do you have another one?
Well, I kind of did the same thing last year against Midland High, but I like contested catches more than like just wide open touchdowns. I like making contested catches. So.
Yeah, because if you make the catch contested, that's awesome. If you don't, it was contested, right?
Yeah.
Instead of being all alone and dropping it, nobody wants to do that.
Nope.
Have you guys played ball together for a long time, like before high school?
Well,
we played against each other in the Super Bowl.
In the Super Bowl for YMCA football, back in 6th grade, we played each other, and
Colin came out with the victory, but it's okay.
yeah, but we both had MVP for the game.
Yeah,
so.
we have a picture back in when we were like in 6th grade.
grade.
We both got MVP.
So we've known each other for a little bit. Yes, sir.
Yep.
Do y'all like to compete against each other, like see who can do better?
I
Do y'all
like
have
to
like
say
a
so.
friendly competition?
I'd like to say so, yes, sir.
Yeah, like so.
Yeah.
So what's it like growing up with brothers that play football?
I mean, it's definitely a competition as well. So, I mean, we're always competing against each other, and it makes each of us better. So,
Who's the best athlete among all of you?
Me? Come on.
All right.
And Tyler's following my footsteps, but.
Which one of you is giving your dad the most gray hairs?
Tyler, for sure.
Probably my little brother. So.
Oh, he's the friendliest kid ever. Hello, Austin. So let's recap a little bit about Friday night, man. You guys left it all on the field. In the second half, did Permian do some things different defensively that you guys were surprised by, or was it just execution?
I think it's just execution because I feel like for the past 2 games, the second half has been significantly not as good as the first half. So I think this game we just need to come out and execute in both halves, and I think we'll definitely seal the deal.
Just what I was saying, Jimmy. What are we going to do to change that?
Sure.
Do you guys have a ritual before the game or halftime that you do?
I mean, I like to listen to music. That's about it. So.
Let me guess, Drake.
Nah.
Everybody gives me that answer when I ask.
Sometimes, actually. I like Drake.
Yeah, what else?
I like Lil Baby.
Lil Baby, yeah.
Taylor Swift?
Taylor Swift can be good sometimes if you want to calm
Does
down.
anybody listen to rock anymore? You guys, it's all hip-hop. Every time I ask.
I think Coach Garcia does.
Yeah, Coach Garcia does, for sure. So.
All right.
Sure.
Keeping the rock flame alive. So what's going on this week as far as your preparation for the game? I mean, we're having fun here tonight, but I know you guys are serious when you're on the field. Anything different? Anything you're working on specifically to get ready for Friday night?
Definitely in practice, making sure that we're locked in and putting things 100% every time we go. And like Coach Griffin said, no water breaks. Just keep going, keep going, keep going. So,
okay.
Sir.
You know, back in the day, that they really meant that, no water breaks.
Yeah, sir.
To the point that it was not healthy. But has the intensity ratcheted up a little bit this week?
That's
Do you
our
feel
goal.
like your back's against the wall a little bit?
Our goal in practice is we got to be more intense and got to want to be there. And so
the ceiling is raised every week. So, I mean, we all want to succeed every week and do things better every week. So, it's definitely, I feel like every week we have a different mindset going into the game. So
what kind of when you look at a defense, can you tell at the beginning of the game, I'm going to do well against this guy, I'm going to do well against that guy?
I mean, I'd say, I've played quarterback, so I think I know what's going on a little bit as coverages go well. I know where I'm supposed to be. So, and I think as a receiver, it's
just winning your matchups.
It's winning your matchups.
You just got to always believe you're going to win your matchup. You got to think you're better than the guy across from you. So
yeah,
it's always what I try to do.
So you can do the same thing. You can kind of get a read on somebody.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really focus too much about like looking at the other team and judging it based off of that. I just go out there and just control what I can control and just go out there and do my best.
Well, you guys have been playing together a while, and some of you haven't, and you had to get together and gel. And, we've taken some tough losses, but they've been doggone dog fights.
Yep.
And it may be one Friday night.
Sir.
Against a team we've had problems with.
And that's what's going every week, dogfight. I mean, it's going to be a dogfight every game that we play for the rest. So, and we know that going into the game. So.
And you guys have a great opportunity to win out.
Yes, sir.
You certainly could. Boy, speaking of dogfights, Lee and Friendship had one, and Lee came out on top of that.
Yep.
Who knows who's going to win between them and Permian. So this district is just crazy. But I know this, you guys, Micah, all of y'all have made the fans proud. And we know win or lose, you guys are going to bring it. And nobody really wants to play y'all. Because if they're off, it's going to be a bad night. And even if they're on, it's going to be a not fun night, and they're going to want to get out of town or get back to the locker room with a win. So we wish you guys the best. Colton already has a corporate sponsorship of Pro Scrub.
Yes, sir. Sir.
Give a little plug there, man. So go get them, guys. What else? Okay, let's talk teammates real fast. Who's the biggest clown on the whole team?
Oh, Baby G.
Baby G.
Baby G.
when you see him, ask about his laugh.
His laugh?
His laugh. Yeah.
All right, Baby G's laugh. Anybody else?
I think Colin's a pretty goofball. He's kind of a goofball, so.
Yeah. What about Mason Van Sickle? Is he always pretty serious?
Yes, he's always locked in. That's what I like about him.
We have a strong friendship with him. We're in the same friend group, so I think we see him pretty serious at moments.
He's a serious guy. He doesn't like to really joke around when we're about to play or anything, and I like that about him. So
he's the heat-seeking Van Missel.
Sir.
We appreciate you guys coming on with us. And we appreciate Micah coming on with us last week. We're going to try to get some more guys in next week, so we can maybe get some of the defensive guys in, some of the hard hitters. And they played well Friday.
They did.
Sir.
You hold a 2,000-yard rusher last season to under 50 yards.
That's really good.
That's
Me
very,
and Jimmy
very
were talking
good.
about that.
Got the fumble recovery as well. I believe the Van Missel got that.
He did. Sure
very
did.
Good. What about Sandoval?
He's very
dog.
strong.
Dude.
Very strong.
That guy can move people.
Yeah.
See him in the weight room. It's very strong.
He can move some weight, for sure.
You guys you still do your elite recovery and everything.
Yes, sir.
How's it going? Do y'all meditate and stuff?
With each other, I think we do. So we sit in the corner. Yeah.
All right. Jimmy Edwards, Colton Hill. Receivers for the Bobcats, ready to get out there and get that win Friday night. It's senior night, too.
Yes, sir.
Everybody come out. We'll be back. We'll preview the game against Midland coming up, and Chiefs Insider is coming up next. We'll be back at Shenanigans after this on Bobcat Insider with Concho Sports.
San Angelo, it's time to invest in your home and protect your future. Olivas Restoration and Solar, your trusted partner in roofing, solar, insulation, and fencing. Call Olivas Restoration and Solar today for your free consultation.
First Community Federal Credit Union's Platinum Visa is a giant of a credit card. With great low rates, no annual fee, no balance transfer fee, and even a rewards option, First Community's Platinum Visa is the card for you. With security as a high priority, you can lock your card in case it's lost, stolen, or just to limit its use. So be smart, bank smart with First Community Federal Credit Union's Platinum Visa.
Deep discounts and low prices on all 2025s in stock. 2026 vehicles are rolling in. We're forced to start our 2025 year-end clearance event now. Get this 2025 GMC Terrain. You could pay only $29,999. Or this 2025 Buick Envista. You could pay $21,999. Deep discounts and low prices during our 2025 year-end clearance event. Only at Mitchell Buick GMC, your hometown.
Welcome back to Shenanigans with Bobcats Insider, live on Concho Sports Network, brought to you by your friends at Luke's Cage. Get that Bobcat drip going on with Luke's Cage. Thank you, Brian. And thanks to everybody. Have a good crowd tonight. Be sure and join us next week, too. Big game coming up, senior night. Are they doing, I think they're doing the senior night stuff, at 6:45?
We do it during pregame. They're going to start calling out the first groups at 6:55.
6:55.
Exactly.
Okay.
And then it'll be great. We got several different groups around campus that'll be recognized, football being one of them. But a lot of people just have poured and invested a lot into their high school careers, and it's great to recognize all of them. And guys like Jimmy and Colton, how great were they? They did a great job right up in here.
They're a couple of rascals.
I introduced myself to Colton.
Well.
I introduced myself to him, and I went, whenever he said who he was, I went, oh, I've known you. What are you? Yeah. I didn't even recognize him. He's gotten so big.
Yeah.
So let's talk a little bit more about Friday. Anything different? Of course, it's a different kind of thing you're going to see offensively.
Yeah, this is kind of from a defensive perspective. It's a tear the game plan down to the studs. Different kind of process whenever you're playing these people. And again, Coach Martin and the defensive staff, they've been preparing for this for a year. For this game. These are not games that you just start over the weekend and get them ready to go. So this has been a year-long process to do this, and we got a great plan, in place right here, and it'll look differently than defense, on a normal week would look. So that'll be the challenge for us there. This is a ball control type offense, and it limits your possessions offensively. The teams that offensive snaps against them have been their fewest of the year. So we're going to have fewer offensive possessions during this game. The purpose, they try to keep the ball. This isn't a tempo team that you're going to see. They use the play clock. They huddle. They break the huddle. And then go and line up and run it. And what they want is 3 yards, 4 yards, 5 yards, 60.
And a cloud of dust.
That's what they're looking for. Yeah. And, our job is to get them off the field, get the ball back to our offense, but we got to be efficient offensively as well. So you're going to see, a 3 down with 3 safety structure with what they do. On defense, they kind of have an umbrella over the top, where they really don't want you to throw the ball over the top. Keep it underneath, run the football, and just not give up a big play. And they've done a good job. They've gotten better every week. They've scored more and more points as the season has gone on. They've kind of gotten into their flow. They were a very senior-heavy team a year ago, if you remember.
Yes.
They had veteran guys at every position, and a lot of experience, and it was rolling for them. They had a great squad, and they've those seniors graduated. They got a whole new group of guys, and you see week after week how they've just improved and gotten better and better and better. So, yeah, we'll get their best, this week, and they'll get our best. It'll be another slugfest in 2-6A.
That's every week.
Yeah.
We're prepared.
That's what you love about this little Southwest Conference. It is every week, and anybody can beat anybody in that whole,
it really
whole
is.
district.
It's not. The comparison is hard, to make. The 2 years I coached at the University of Arkansas in the SEC, it's that way. These games are all boom every time. You get ready to go. There is nobody on the schedule that's like, all right, we can breathe here a little bit. Nope, that's 2-6A. On the high school level. So it'll be a lot of fun. It'll be a great night. Yep.
And we were talking about Mike Tyson's Punch-Out. There really aren't any glass Joes that we run
No, they're
into.
not.
It's all bald bulls and above.
Oh, yeah. Right? We got to go right to the end. Yeah, no glass Joe.
No.
Yeah.
7:30
These people don't know all about Mike Tyson's Punch-Out. That's
body blow.
You just aged us a little
all
bit.
All the old people.
All us old folks.
Yeah.
Of a certain age is what I like to say. I was going to dazzle you with my foot. Every week I'll watch something and go, boy, I'm going to dazzle Coach with my knowledge, and then I forget it.
Write them down, yeah.
The helmets I'm getting a little more caught up on. I love gear.
Yep.
One more question. When Coach Kevin Sumlin was at Texas A&M, he had a chewing gum guy. Somebody that was right by him, boom.
All right.
Do you have an assistant that?
I have. Lexi is one of our trainer girls, one of our trainer water girls there, and she carries cough drops for me. I like my mouth gets dry during the game. So you may see me go to her and I say, Lexi, I need one. And my wife buys me some specialty cough drops in there. I like a certain kind. If you know me, I'm a little particular about things. And so, Devin Glass and Blaine Todd, our trainers, we got these just kind of run-of-the-mill generic cherry ones that I guess every training room has. I don't like those. Those are nasty.
Right.
All right. I want the good stuff. Okay. So.
Ricola.
Yes, there we go. Yeah. So Michelle gets me those, and I have a little bag, and I put it with Lexi, and so she'll make eye contact with me every now and then. I'm like, yes, I need. So that's mine. I don't have a chewing gum deal, but I always have a cough drop in right there. Just helps keep my mouth kind of moist a little bit. I'm talking and everything, and just mouth gets dry.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there you go.
That's
cough
got to
drops.
be tough whenever you're right in the middle of a game and get all dried out and can't.
Yep.
It's good to have that assistant.
It is. Yeah.
Get a little hoarse while you're trying to
That's
say
right.
something.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Have you ever completely lost your voice during a game where you just couldn't?
No, I don't think so. I mean, it stays in a continual raspy 365 days a year, kind of like it is right now. My wife will get upset at me. She knows kind of when football season ends and then it gets picked up again, it always kind of starts going. And she's like, you're yelling too much. You know, your voice is kind of doing this. So I've done better this year, I think. I don't know. The team may say you still yell all the time. I don't know. But I feel like I've done better. Voice is holding steady.
Spring and summer voice, and then your football season voice.
Yes, exactly.
All right.
It's like DJs have that DJ voice.
I used to on the radio, just like this. We called those people pukers that had the fake voice. Coach, we always enjoy talking to you, and go get them. Senior night coming up Friday, and we're excited about the game. Kickoff 7:30. We'll go on about 7:15 for the broadcast, and hope you'll join us on Concho Sports if you can't make the game, or even if you can, have it on. All right. Arlen, anything else?
I'm good. It's always great to see you, Coach.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate it. Yep.
All right.
Chiefs Insider up next.
Yep.
Chiefs coming up.
Good luck to them this week.
Got a Thursday game coming up this week for the Chiefs.
They moved to Thursday.
We'll discuss all of that coming up next on Chiefs Insider. We'll be right back here for another edition of Bobcats Insider, 7 o'clock next Monday. Hope to see you for senior night. We're going to win this Friday night as 2-6A, the saga continues. Love y'all. We'll see you next time from Shenanigans with Luke's Cage and Concho Sports Network.
Go Bobcats.
Yeah.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Chief Insider live from Shenanigans, presented by, of course, Shenanigans and Luke's Cage. I am Chad Miller, joined by my broadcast partner, Arthur Andrade, and joining us today is the teacher and coach who was voted the teacher of the first 9 weeks by the Lakeview Spanish Club, offensive line coach, Jonathan Gonzalez. Coach, first and foremost, thank you for joining us, and tell me about this award. What is this? Is this like a...
It caught me off guard. I had no idea it was coming. I just got an email from the Spanish teacher, said, hey, are you going to be in your room 6? And I said, yeah. And she showed up and said, hey, so you've been voted on by students, teachers, whoever's involved in the Spanish club.
That's awesome, man.
So
you teach math, right?
I do.
Okay, I remember being in your room a couple times for tasks, testing.
I'm the mean math teacher.
Yeah.
I mean, just all the positive quotes said about you, really caring about the athletes, the students, wanting to push to be better and ready for the future, amazing supporter and coach, and encouraging you to never give up. So, I mean, obviously great things, positive impact on these scholar athletes. I'm making sure I'm saying that correctly because SASD loves to push scholar athletes. So on these scholar athletes, Chiefs and Maidens, I'm sure. So congratulations to that. But without further ado, let's dive right into what this show is all about. Obviously, football. You were just coming out the bye, which why we didn't have Chief Insider last week. But so we're gonna go back 2 weeks before we talk about what's coming up this week. So 2 weeks ago, got on the road to close out your non-district schedule. Got a pretty solid victory over a winless Brownfield program.
Yes,
at the time. I'm not sure if they won last week, even if they played last week. Nonetheless, y'all beat them. That's what matters the most. Let's just go through it. Obviously, a lot of guys got some touches here. Brownfield does not upload their stats to Max Preps, but when you're winless, I wouldn't want to either. So, taking a look at the program, offensively, we see the slinger himself, Chris Alviso, 22 of 33 for 223 yards, 3 touchdowns, 2 picks, while Caleb Shumper actually got some action as well, 2 of 4, 13 yards, and a touchdown himself. Rushing the ball, we saw Isaiah Rios do what Isaiah Rios does, 14 carries, 192 yards, and 2 touchdowns, as our light fixture almost gets knocked over by a wandering kid. And then Evan Gallegos, who always got a lot of action, was mainly the second string for y'all, 7 carries, 95 yards, and 2 touchdowns himself. And then receiving catches by Nick Leyva. On Max Prep's funny, player number 10, of course, we know as the freshman extraordinaire, Andrew Young, and then, of course, 2 touchdown catches for Braylon White. I mean, just what seems to be a complete team win, Coach. Just kind of give me your insight. I know you're mainly on the offensive side of the ball, so give me the insight of what you saw against the Brownfield team and how the Chiefs executed.
I thought we executed pretty good. I will say I feel like we started slow.
I was going to say, I think we started.
I think we started really
It was
slow.
8-6 after the first quarter, so
yes, it was a really slow game, but when they kind of got their feet under them, kind of got relaxed, going into knowing they were about to close out their pre-district season, I think everything started clicking and started going good. Even when we started getting subs in, like Evan Gallegos and stuff.
Oh, y'all playing lots of kids.
Clicking.
Lots of kids.
And it was good, but we do need to start off faster.
Right. And that's actually really something we've noticed. It's kind of been like a on and off switch with this Chiefs program where you have games where, a great example, of course, this one, but also Fort Stockton, where you start off the first quarter a little bit slow and then everything just turns up and gets going. And then we've seen games where, you start fast right away. So what's kind of that key to be able to start fast? Of course, we've seen the Chiefs able to do it, but, of course, not being consistent about it.
I think it's going to be just the kids taking the game serious, locking in, and being in mode even since they want to practice. A lot of times we may get a little lackadaisical practice. It happens, but we kind of get them back into gear, and it kind of shows that when we practice a little slow, we start a little slow. Of course, we pick up our practice starts getting faster, our games start getting faster. So it's one of those, it starts at the beginning of the week. If we can pick it up at the beginning of the week, I think we're golden, we're set.
Yeah, we'll actually get into picking it up pretty quickly here when we talk about Thursday's game.
District
opening up. I've talked to some of your players in the past, some of your own linemen in the past, and apparently, and of course, as a fellow big guy, I would not be the biggest fan of it, but they love whenever y'all go tempo on offense.
Oh, yeah.
Is this just them knowing the system? Is this something you're pushing them to be able to love tempo and love going fast? Like, what is it about it that makes these linemen who traditionally don't want to go fast want to go fast?
It's the funniest thing when they're coming off the sideline and yelling at us that we need to go tempo, we need to go tempo. I'm like, y'all are the ones that are supposed to slow it down for us. and they want to go tempo, tempo, tempo. But I feel like it's because we get simple, we get easy. The D-line doesn't have a chance to get set. That box doesn't have a chance to get set. And, of course, when they're tired, D-line is notorious for subbing out. And if they don't have that chance to sub out and they're gassed, they're tired, and we're not, boy, it's a fun time running that ball.
I'm curious about this. What conditioning you have these young men on in terms of, because again, as a big guy myself, I played baseball in high school. I played first base because I hated running. So it's like knowing that these young men want to go fast, they want to run, they want to get down the field as fast as possible. We've seen it happen multiple times in drives of one play and 30-second drives or whatever with this Chiefs team. What is it that y'all did just either during the offseason, even during practice, that just lets these guys keep going without needing to come in and out on the offensive line?
Just really spending the time to get them to buy in. Believe in the program, believe in tempo, believe in moving the ball. If we move and we practice moving the ball fast, we're going to move the ball fast in the game. Kind of relating back to what I said earlier, how we practice is how we're going to play. Sure. So if we can run tempo, we can run that fast offense in practice, and we get them used to that then and there, it's going to work out in the game, and they love it. And, of course, when they start seeing that, those, like I said earlier, those D-line, that the linebackers, they're not getting set, they're tired, they're gassed, and they're like, oh, yeah, let's go, let's go, let's go. And it's something up the gut, up the gut, up the gut. I mean, they're loving it. So takes a lot of building all the way back to the summer, but once they start to buy in, they can see those results, and it's nice.
You remember Coach Rudewick, right?
Yes.
Okay, so I got to coach him when he was at Copper's Cove. He was an offensive lineman. Wasn't a big guy, you know.
Oh, yeah,
he was about, 5'11", you know, maybe, I don't think he was 200 pounds, but he may have been like 190, but I tell you what, he was always in shape.
Yes.
That sucker would never get tired, and he would go 100 miles an hour.
Good old Rudy.
And I bragged on him when I saw him come back to Lakeview. I go, man, I remember I was assigned to Rudy a couple, because at Copper's Cove we had like 40 football coaches. So we had like 6-7 O-line coaches. So every O-line coach, you're assigned to a player when you're doing team,
Probably coach and analyst.
And every play you have to go give, tell them what to do, things like that, stuff we do that every day in practice, And Rudy was the guy that, man, for some reason I always got Rudy 2-3 days a week. And that sucker would go 100 miles an hour. And sometimes he'd mess up, but he would still go 100 miles an hour.
As long as you mess up going 100 miles an hour.
Exactly. Now, I don't think we really had to run the tempo like you guys do. Although when we did get RG3, which was a couple of years later, that's when we started to do up tempoing, fast pace, because we had so much speed.
Yes.
So you do that when you have a speed team. But I always thought that's pretty curious.
No, yeah, no. I mean, and it's really fun watching this Chiefs offense because it seems that
very fun.
Obviously with the couple of the losses there, but it seems to be like this offense can't really be stopped. You are going to get points on the board. You're going to make things happen. And I feel like this all starts with Chris Alviso. Talk to me about what you see. What do what's your message to your own line to be able to allow him to do his thing, tossing almost 2,000 yards now, and then also let Isaiah Rios do his thing, rushing over 1,000 yards in the season?
Big thing is the O-line knows that everything happens behind their back. They're never going to get to see the ball, touch the ball, move the ball, whatever the case is. Everything's behind their back, and without a solid O-line, we can't get anything done.
Right.
So everything falls on their back. So I believe we looked up the stats earlier, and we can say that the O-line, I think, have given up 5 sacks. In the entire season so far.
That's great.
And of course, in the last game, Brownfield, we had, I believe it was like 300 rushing yards versus 200 passing yards. So being able to get down and dirty and run the ball down their throat and just kind of move that ball however we want to, either pass or run, is very good and beneficial for the O-line. Kind of gets everything going. If we can run the ball, that makes them pack the box, then we can throw the ball. We can throw the ball, then they spread out, now we can run the ball. So
that's fantastic.
It's good to be able to do whatever we want with them.
Walk me through some of these blocking schemes you have, because I've seen some crazy things y'all do, and in terms of just with your RPOs, making sure guys aren't going downfield, or we've seen even a couple times where just guys get to that second and third level and just make plays for Isaiah Rios and the receivers downfield. Like what is that? Are y'all more of a zone blocking team? Do y'all mainly kind of you want to make gap schemes happen? What do y'all like to do out there?
We like to go between both. We like to be able to have a zone foundation, switch between a gap scheme. Whatever we want to call, we can move now. Our base plays are, of course, the zone plays, so we like to rely heavy on zone, but we go between zone, gap, whatever we want to do. We got to start day one being able to do that.
Do we
be able to read those angles.
I'm sorry, do we pull a lot of linemen? Do we still do the G blocks or?
At most, we'll do GT.
Okay,
we'll run
exactly.
Guard, tackle, counter.
Oh, we do.
Yeah, I'm glad Coach explained. I was going to have to get in there and have to mansplain that probably, but it's all right. It's all good nonetheless. Walk me through and remind me, how long have you been with this program?
This is my 7th year.
7th year. So walk me through this season. Obviously, this is, I believe I'm thinking correctly, this is
the
probably
best season
in a while in terms of at least winning games and record. So walk me through what this means for you, but also the kids you coach. Obviously, some of these kids, and especially the last couple of seasons, weren't used to having tough losses, and then when the wins kind of came far in between. But now you're at 5 wins. Walk me through what that means for you as a coach, but also to your kids in the program.
So I'm super proud. Of course, I know the whole coaching staff is super proud of the kids, all the work they put in. Of course, it starts last year, right? Having those, I believe it was 4 one-game losses.
1-score losses, yep.
Sorry, 1-score losses. I mean, we've had 4 of them, and that kind of left a sour taste in their mouth.
Right.
We had a young team. We didn't lose a lot of starters. So being able to get with them for the spring and work with them, have them buy in and show up over the summer, all summer long, have them show up to two-a-days, and just work and work and work. And we told them day one that this could be their year. We had a young team. We didn't lose a lot. This is going to be your year. You've got to work for it. And seeing them finally buy in and work has been phenomenal, because in the long run, the dividends have paid. And we're seeing it with, of course, being 5-2 out of the pre-district schedule.
And we aren't that far away from being 7-0.
No.
I mean, very easily.
So
we were one drive away against Levelland, and then Vernon was just a couple of slips here and there. And this could be a little bit improvement, but still, nonetheless, I'm not complaining about 5-2 at all whatsoever. Especially with just the history, of course, calling some of those one-score losses last season to this year, where you've already avenged 2 of them, and then you have 2 more left to get after. Yes. And of course, we'll get into the first one here a little bit later in the show. Talk to me, and of course, I know this is just a reporter me wanting to ask. I'm sure I'm going to get the same answer given from a lot of the coaches. But who's a guy in your unit that you like going out there, that you enjoy seeing out there and put the work in, whether it's in the game, in practice? Is there any young men or young men in general that just really get you just going, just like watching them put the work in?
For me, it's all of them. I mean, they've all got to be clicking.
Yeah.
And, of course, if one guy clicks on a football team, there's 11 guys out there.
Yeah.
So for me, it's all of them. When I see all of them finally clicking and working and grinding, it's a phenomenal sight. If you have one guy out there working, you can have your running back running all day long, but if the line ain't blocking for him, what's the point of the run back?
Right.
So for me, it's got to be all of them. I love seeing all of them finally getting going.
And obviously your boys are putting the work in, as mentioned already. Isaiah Rios doing what he does, has eclipsed over 1,000 yards rushing on the ground. And then, of course, Chris Alviso, 1,889 yards, a 70% completion percentage, 25 touchdowns. So obviously this offense is clicking 100%.
Yes.
It's been amazing to watch, and I'm going to enjoy watching them on Thursday. Partner, unless you have any questions about Brownfield, I'm ready to get a look at Pecos.
Oh, no, I just reiterate what he said, coaching O-line, you loved your kids. You loved your O-line. You were like a gang or whatever you want to call it, a group of people that, looked after each other the whole time, got each other's backs. And sometimes you have wars with the D-line.
Oh, yeah.
If you're a big school, you probably didn't go both ways, because we're lucky. We just had a straight old lineman. We had straight D lineman. Very occasionally, we might have someone that can go both ways. But when you're in a big school,
there's no need for it.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
We had 100 kids on varsity. 90 kids. So plenty to go around. That's why people like Rudewick, even though he wasn't that big, that sucker was a hard working. And he'd work his tail off, and you couldn't find anybody else on the team that would work his tail off like he did. That's what I loved about him, and that's why the coaches, that were his position coaches, they loved about those kind of guys. They would do anything, for the team.
Oh, it's all work, no recognition.
So, So I love that dynamic there of coaching O-line and coaching your guys. And it was a little different when you're in the JV freshman because you got everybody.
Oh, yeah.
You got all the JV, all the linemen. But when you're on varsity, we had 4 O-line coaches on varsity. You had the one guy just did the centers, the other guy just did the guards, the other guy just did the tackles, and one guy did the tight end. That's how. That's what you do in back in the 2000s. That's the way that was going.
Yes, the 2000s.
So we remember the day when we had to coach the whole line, and you were probably by yourself with like 20 kids or something like that. Unless the D-line guy came. You may have been the D-line coach too back then in those years as well.
He had all the big boys.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
we see with this program too. We see guys who played both sides, especially early on. Just the names that where you had to rotate the D-line. Some of those are O-linemen going out there and putting work in. But now that you'll have the system set, I've seen the limit on the guys who are playing both ways. So it's good that you were able to find the spots where everybody's somewhat comfortable and able to let them focus on one craft so they don't have to worry about doing other things if they don't have to at the moment. So it's really good for this program and kind of goes towards their success over the course of the season. But now we've left non-district play, or as some people in the Concho Sports Network call it, preseason, and we are now in the season, our district play. Of course, in our district, there are only 4 teams, which, if you're doing the math, if you follow UIL football, everybody makes the playoffs, but it matters who you get to meet in the playoffs is what matters. Last season, Lakeview finished 4th, and they got blessed with that by facing the powerhouse of Stephenville. So we're trying to avoid that this year,
yes,
hopefully, and and even better if we can finish atop of the district play. But it starts on Thursday. Remember, Thursday, it was originally scheduled for Friday, but due to limited officials in the Permian Basin area, the Chiefs are going to play on Thursday night against Pecos on the road. Let's dive right in. What do you see from this team? They're 3-4 on the season. Going through their schedule, they have played some mutual opponents early in the season. They played at home against Snyder, beat them in double overtime, went to Leveling and lost, played Fort Stockton and lost, only by 2, and then beat Kermit at Kermit, and then had a couple home games, lost to Greenwood, beat Monahans, and then 2 weeks ago, as they also had the bye last week, as the Chiefs did, lost to Shallow Water. So, obviously, a back-and-forth team, kind of a mixed bag in terms of their results, but we find some consistency when we look at their stats where they do love to run the ball. I know that's not your side of the ball, but what are you seeing as we will go into their offensive side in a minute? What are you seeing against their defense for your offensive line to have to deal with?
I think they're a pretty solid defense. Respect all opponents. You're never going to get by blowing off an opponent. You always got to respect who you're going to go against, and I think they're pretty big in the box. I think we can move them, but it's going to take practice. It takes work, and I think they're pretty solid for sure.
What are you seeing system-wise? Like, are we seeing a 4-down front? Are we seeing a three down front?
A lot of 4-down front, 4 down, 2 backers.
4-2-5?
1 high, maybe 2 high.
Okay.
So they kind of go back and forth between there, having 2 outside backers versus 1 outside backer. So, but for me, of course, I focus on that box. So I'm focused on the 4 down linemen and the 2 backers.
Yeah, and I remember talking a couple weeks ago to offensive coordinator Tony Cortez, and he made sure to let us know that he enjoyed this non-district schedule because of the different fronts your O-line face. It seems like there's not a front that y'all haven't faced this year. We saw a lot of 3-down front with Lubbock. We saw a lot of 4-down front against a lot of other teams, and we see a couple other teams. I think either Snyder or Lamesa had also a lot of hybrid fronts that y'all saw, and it allowed you to be able to adjust against those, and especially for games where maybe here, and of course, y'all do face it in practice, as of course we do run mixed fronts. So, so what do you think we're going to have more success in offensively? Obviously, you mentioned their solid defense. We don't respect all the opponents, but where do you think we can find the advantage in this matchup?
I think if we can get the ball rolling and start run the ball early, I think that's going to open up all the gates for us. I think we're going to be good. It's going to come down to, can the line move their D-line, their backers, get up to the second level like we're trained to do? Can they trust their step? It comes down to, I don't care what they show up in. I don't care if they come out in a 5-man front for all we care. You got to be able to trust your step. You got to be able to trust your angles. You got to be able to move up to the second level when you're told to move up to the second level. And if we can get that ball rolling, I think it's going to open up the floodgates.
Well, I think if Rios gets into the first 5 yards without any contact, then he has a chance to break it.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
So
I mean, every play.
I mean, pretty much every play, right? So I definitely think our O-line has gotten stronger as the year has gone by. So I think that's a +2 for as we move down toward the end of the season. So
and being able to, as you said, see all the fronts kind of early on district. We've seen 3, we've seen 4, we've seen 5, we've seen extra backers, we've seen it all. And so nothing new should be coming to us coming up. And if it does, it comes down to trusting what you're coached to do. Trust your steps, trust your angles.
You know, and something I always think about is that Burning game, you know, where I know it was a loss for us, but we saw so many different fronts. Of course, Burnett had a very strong defense. We knew that going into the matchup, and they brought out so many different fronts. I saw 3-down linemen, 4-down linemen. I saw, like, double-A gap, middle linebackers in there. Like, there were so many different fronts, and I feel like that's going to be the game. If we have success in districts, that'll be the game to call back to where, hey, look, we're successful now because we saw it here.
Yes.
And, you know, even though we lost, we still learned a lot and able to have that success with the rest of district play. I mean, obviously, the preseason doesn't matter no more, but for those who are wondering, the Chiefs were picked to finish at the bottom of district. Andrews picked the repeat, and I believe the next two, I believe it was Pecos and Big Spring on Dave Campbell's Texas football. Obviously, that doesn't really matter much anymore as the Chiefs have the best record and the best non-district record prior to district play. And again, I know someone's going to tell me, that doesn't matter. You still got to play the games. Right. But it's still success. We're coming in this game with the bye weeks to prepare, and with the win in our belts behind us to be able to get that, as Darren Prater for the Bobcats coverage would call it, the big Mo, the big M, momentum, be able to bring it in here. So, you know, looking as a whole, you know, of course, we already mentioned we want to get the ball rolling. You know, what is I'm trying to figure out a way to describe it because, I mean, like I've already asked the same question like two different times. You know, it's like trying to figure out, like, you know, you want to be able to get the ball rolling, you want to be able to get the push, get the use zone. You know, is there any concern at all? And I know this is going to sound pessimistic, but is there any concern, any worries that you have facing this front against with Pecos to open up district play with this now 2 weeks for both y'all to prepare?
They're big, they're solid.
Yeah.
Those are the biggest worries. Now it's going to come down to who wants it more. Are we going to be able to get push on the first level, move up to the second level? Of course, I feel like I'm repeating myself as well, right?
No, I mean, but it's okay. It gets to the point where we're rolling.
That's what it's going to come down to. That's my worries is they're big, and I've told the line, I've told my guys they're big. We've got to stay disciplined, got to stay, out of our own heads and just trust what we're told to do.
Are they as athletic as Burnett?
They're athletic.
Okay.
They're pretty athletic. They're pretty big.
They got good size.
Yeah, they got size. They got speed. They'll come down. They'll hit you. I mean, they're going to do it all.
You know, I just remember Pecos from 30 years ago. It seemed like they'd always have like a 5-6 receivers or something. You know, they were kind of short or shorter, but of course, times change.
Right. I do see, looking at this, of course, take it with a grain of salt. It is max preps. It is them uploading their own stats or somebody representing them to do so. It seems they do get a lot of TFLs. So is that just them utilizing their size? Is that just them, or is that actually like schematically what you see maybe where we see 2 players have 10 TFLs and then a lot of others were like 5 and 3?
I think a lot of it is their size.
Yeah.
They're able to hold up the gaps. They do a lot of defensive stunts, of course. They like to sit in that backside guy. They like to twist. They like to hammer. They like to X stunt, all the good stuff like that. So it comes down to, having your eyes up and trusting, seeing if your guy disappears, somebody's probably coming to fill that game.
Yeah.
So don't just, okay, and then move on with your life.
And they've also given up a lot of big plays, though, in the games that they've played.
Yeah.
Because I was on the internet today looking for videos of Pecos and saw some shallow water, saw some of the other teams.
Greenwood.
And I'm thinking, God dang, they had 70-yard touchdown passes and things like that, which is stuff that we do, other than Rio's running. So I'm thinking, man, we should be okay if we can just make sure we take care of the blocking.
Just got to stay disciplined. Biggest thing we've been telling the kids all day, all week. stay disciplined, stay hungry, stay humble. Everybody's 0-0 right now. Everybody wants their first win. Everything beforehand doesn't matter. It all comes down to this district record. You got to stay hungry. You got to stay humble. You got to move on. And at the end of the week, we want to be 1-0. But so does everybody else. So we've got to want it more than they do by executing and staying disciplined.
Now, walk me through, this is exactly what I wanted to ask you at the beginning of this preview phase, but I just thought about it now. Walk me through the preparation from the bye week. What was that focus on with your unit during the bye week? And then this week, we talked about prior to the show that you're playing on Thursday. You're ramping up now. It's like, it's not like there's no like, oh, hey, we're going to go do this, go whatever. We're like, hey, we're heading, we're rolling, we're prepped now. Like, what was that like with the bye week and then ramping into this week?
So the good thing was we spent the bye week teaching.
Right.
We had practice. We moved on. We had time to teach. We had time to slow things down and really get on to what is Pecos going to do. What have they done in the before, and what do we plan on them doing for us? So we've had that last week to kind of prep everything, teach everything. So now with the game being moved up to Thursday, we're able to hit the ground running today. Of course, right? It's fast and furious.
Yeah.
And we've got to get ready because come Wednesday, Hayes in the barn. It's not, we got one more day after Wednesday. Come Wednesday, Hayes in the barn. And we got to go out and perform on Thursday. So it's going to be, it is fast and furious, but what helped us was having that week beforehand, being able to slow down and teach and move through everything that we expect them to do.
I suppose on coaching meetings, y'all probably talk to yourselves about, what do y'all think Pecos wants to do to us?
Yes.
Do they want to stop the run? Do they want to, they know our 300 yards passing the game, how are they going to combat that? Are they going to try to blitz us or stunt us or try to slow us down?
Oh, I think they're going to try to blitz and stunt.
But they've obviously seen lots of film and they know that people have tried to blitz us and, we still got 300 yards passing the game, to almost 200 rushing the game. So, which I love how the year has progressed and our rushing game has gotten stronger.
I love it too. As an O-line coach, I love that.
So, and this, pound the ball, and Reels is a perfect person to pound the ball with.
Yeah.
He's got that prototype fullback. He's probably even faster than the fullback. Yeah.
I'm gonna say I would call it like
an athlete.
I would call it like a. See, like when I imagine like fullback or a bruiser type, I think of like the Mike Allstotts of the world. Just a big guy.
Well, not everybody.
I just think he just throws more weight than he actually is.
Oh, yeah.
He puts pad to pad, and is not scared to go through guys if he has to.
Right, he has fire in his eyes.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Well, partners, anything else you have for Coach against Pecos? No. I think it's best to send him off for the evening.
Like I said, I'm excited for you guys. I'm excited for Lakeview. Of course, that's where I grew up and that's where I graduated from. So I always kept up with Lakeview even when I was in Central Texas. And we had many lean years. There were 2 or 3 winning seasons that we made the playoffs. And the 3 years that we made the playoffs when I was in high school. Other than that, it's been pretty. That's why this year has been for me, it's been so enjoyable, and I love it, and love how you guys are playing, and I love how the kids are playing and getting excited, and hopefully we can keep it on for about another 3 or 4 more weeks, if not longer.
That's what we've all loved this year, but at the same time, you can't be content.
Nope, you can't.
Oh, yeah.
You can't be satisfied.
Got to keep rolling.
There's work to do next week. And
keep the ball rolling. Yes, sir. Awesome.
Three times in the 2000s, we got to play 15 games at Copper's Cove. 2 of them were state title games that we lost, and 1 we lost in the state semifinals in 5A. So they had 16 games in that division. But yeah, you want to keep playing in December. That's where.
That's the goal.
It's a goal to have a fast food Thanksgiving.
Yes, sir. Yes. Oh,
that's a fun way to call it. I never thought about it like that.
There were a couple of years I didn't get to come home for Thanksgiving because, we had a game maybe Friday or something, and they said all you coaches who plan on going home, if you want to, we'll have it at coach's house or some coach's house, and or we went out to Colleen and ate, one of the big restaurants, Thanksgiving dinner. We did that too. But even though it's, sad to miss coming home from Thanksgiving, you want to be playing.
Oh, yes.
You want to be active during Thanksgiving week.
Awesome. Well, Coach, any last words before we send you off for the evening?
I think I'm good. Just stay hungry, stay hungry.
Stay hungry, I love it so much. Coach, first off, thank you for joining us tonight. We appreciate you being here tonight.
You, Coach. Thank
when
you.
we come back, we are going to have a couple of Chiefs players here on the stage with me. You're watching Chiefs Insider live from Shenanigans, presented by Loose Cage.
Let's make a deal. No games, no gimmicks. Just straightforward deals at Mitchell Toyota on Knickerbocker Road. You can be in the driver's seat of a new Camry. Drive this one for only $30,844 and 4.75% APR for 60 months. Here's a deal that's hard to pass up. A new Tacoma for only $39,897 and 3.99% APR for 60 months. Mitchell Toyota, where we put the deal back in dealership.
Cotton farming in the Concho Valley, that's risky business. Specializing in crop insurance and serving local family farmers for over 15 years, Oasis Crop Insurance understands those risks firsthand. That's why year in and year out, from the first seed you plant to the last boll you harvest, Oasis Crop Insurance is your risk management partner.
Oasis Crop Insurance, service from paradise.
At Texas Bank, we believe in the power of relationships. Our roots are our customers, the lifeblood of our business. We're more than just a bank. We're your trusted financial partner, committed to building lasting connections and providing personalized service that exceeds your expectations. From helping you achieve your financial goals to supporting you through life's changes, we're here for you every step of the way. Experience the difference of banking with people who truly care.
First Community Federal Credit Union's Platinum Visa is a giant of a credit card. With great low rates, no annual fee, no balance transfer fee, and even a rewards option, First Community's Platinum Visa is the card for you. With security as a high priority, you can lock your card in case it's lost, stolen, or just to limit its use. So be smart, bank smart with First Community Federal Credit Union's Platinum Visa.
At Schertz Landscape, we care about the quality of trees that you put in your landscape. Therefore, we grow our trees here locally in the Concho Valley. As a certified arborist, I not only care about the quality of your tree being planted, but I am also qualified as a tree risk assessor. I can evaluate the health of an older tree or the risk that it may have to you and your property. Come see us at Schertz Landscape, where we care about the quality of your trees.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Chiefs Insider live from Shenanigans. I am joined by a couple of football players here with me, as I do every single week. In the middle here is the freshman extraordinaire, Andrew Young, and on his left side is going to be Concho Johnson. Gentlemen, first and foremost, thank you for joining me tonight.
Yes, sir.
Awesome. Well, I mean, we'll just dive right in. Y'all are student athletes or scholar athletes, SAISD loves to call y'all. So we'll just get in with school. Obviously, we have a wide range of things here to discuss. Obviously, Andrew, you are a freshman, and Concho, you're a senior. So I guess how are classes? One's going into it, one's going out of it. What's it looking like?
Right now, I just see a lot from Andrew, especially since he's a freshman.
Yeah.
What do you think, Andrew? Just fun?
Fun? Just fun?
Yeah, high school's fun.
High school's fun?
Yep.
I mean, it's a lot of fun when you're on the varsity football team, huh?
Yes, sir.
I'm sure it is, especially with the season that the Chiefs are having thus far. Andrew, let's start with you, man. I mean, you were I was told a few weeks ago you were the JV quarterback before you get brought up, and then you were playing DB. Your debut was against Lamesa, where you made a pick and a deflection that led to the Chiefs' victory. and now you're getting receiver snaps, and I've heard you've been getting a couple of quarterback snaps in practice. First off, what's this transition like for you as you're, hey, I'm new, I'm in high school, let's go, I'm so excited. All of a sudden, not even a month later, oh, hey, you're up, kid, you're on the varsity team. What's it like?
First games were pretty nervous. It was weird because, like, I was on JV. I didn't really play that much. Good, like, fast people, and then I got moved up, and I got the opportunity to go, and I made the opportunity.
You know, and I do, if you don't know at home, if you don't remember the games, of course, Andrew here got a lot more opportunity, a lot more than he probably anticipated as Braylon White had exited the game with an injury. And, of course, Braylon White still plays, as we all know. But nonetheless, you know, you're out there now just about every week. I mean, you're a constant rotation. There's not a week that goes by where we're not calling your number because you're doing something and you're out there everywhere, it feels like. So what's it like making that transition from being the quarterback to all of a sudden, hey, you're on the other side of the ball, and now you're facing these receivers who may be your height, if not taller, maybe some bigger kids. What's it like for you?
At first, it was scary. It was very scary because I don't really know any defense or nothing. They just put me out there like, do your best. I was like, yes, sir. Then I finally got the plays and stuff, and then now I just go out there and have fun.
Kentrell, let's jump over to you, man. I mean, there's not a week that goes by where you're not making some sort of highlight grab or attempt at it. You're pretty close to it. I mean, I feel like you average almost a pick a game. At least you get one every couple games. You know, so what's it like for you this season, you know, knowing that, you know, started off high, had a couple picks, you know, making big plays on defense, and then, of course, having that 4-0 start. What's this season been like for you as a senior?
Right now, it's just I'm having fun. Especially going into my senior year, having a winning record, it feels different. Because, you know, last year we didn't have, like, a good record. It was just my junior year. It's my second year going on to Lakeview, and I'm enjoying everything, especially the coaching staff. Helps me and shows everything that it's helping us as a team and keeping us going. And the coaches tell us to go out there and play our best, and I do my best, play my part. As long as we do it, we have fun.
You mentioned, so this is your second year at Lakeview?
Yes, sir.
Where were you at previously?
I was at Central before this.
Central?
Yes, sir.
That's a heck of a switch. What is that just simply moving, district realignment, everything? Okay.
Yes, sir.
So what was that transition like for you then? Where I'm assuming you were playing ball at Central then, were you?
Yes, sir.
So what was that transition like knowing you went from Central to Lakeview? And because you don't really see that all too much here. I have, of course, some of your teammates came from TLCA. So, like, what was that like knowing you went from the 6A to the 4A?
It was like a big transition for me from going from the 6A division, coming down to 4A. It was much more different because I was going against bigger people and stronger people and, you know, going against ranked people. But now I'm just at 4A and I'm having fun and seeing what it's like to actually do what I can do as a person on the team.
Do you feel like you have an advantage in some games or some matchups because you had that experience playing those bigger receivers or, you know, whatever else?
No, sir. I just feel like now that I had this transition, I see people that's differently than I saw them when I was at Central. Because every other person has a different technique and different skills. And as I go into different games, I know that a person could be taller than me, stronger than me, bigger than me. So I just go in and play my best and do what I can as a person. And I know if you're my opponent, I'm going to respect you as you respect me, but it's football, so
that's
I'm going to go get at you as you get at me.
Fair enough. I know I'm probably going to be half correct here. I know you were starting at corner for the Chiefs. I know you rotated safety, or are you rotating at corner for
safety?
Safety, that's what I thought. Okay. So, yeah, look at that. I was basically 700% right without second-guessing myself. So, talk to me what this is like for y'all, you know, where you are – of course, this upper-class heavy team, I think somebody told me there's 34 seniors on this program.
Yes, sir.
And then you have this fresh face come in. What's it like? Because I've seen y'all side by side sometimes on the same side of the field. So what's it like knowing that you have to trust a freshman if somebody somehow beats you deep?
You know, just seeing him as a freshman, it just shocks me because I've never seen somebody like his size as a freshman or at his capability as a freshman. But when I see him on defense, I think of him as, oh, you're just a normal teammate just like mine. No matter what your grade is, just come out there and play just like we play.
That's respectable for sure, because I know my partner Arthur over there. He makes it a point to make it known every show and every broadcast. Like he's like, hey, like this is new to me. Like I'm not from my time when he coached. Of course, I'm speaking for me now, but you know, whenever he coached, freshmen didn't play. Like you weren't playing on varsity until you were a sophomore at the earliest. And so the fact that you're seeing this athletic kid right here able to get snaps and get playing time, and then now maybe getting some offensive snaps in the future. We'll see what happens there. Actually, you have gotten a couple because on Max Preps, you may have heard me make the joke earlier, you're listed as a player number 10 because they have yet to put you on the roster here. So, first and foremost, I know Concho doesn't play both sides of the ball, but you've had a little bit. So what's that experience been like for you, and at least on varsity? Because, of course, I know you're a quarterback, whatever, but varsity.
It was very fun on offense. It was scary when I caught that touchdown because I thought that linebacker was going to come blow me up, but I'm glad he didn't.
Hey, you know what? Sometimes it works out for the best, right? And it's good seeing you get that flexibility on both sides of the ball because a lot of this team has to. Some of this team has to play both sides, of course, but thankfully we're in a spot within the season where we don't have to worry about that. Like Concho, you don't got to play offense. Your corner, your job is to make sure that receiver doesn't beat you and you're good, And obviously for you, you're young. You still got some time to figure out for the coaches to figure out what they want you to do. And, we saw earlier in the season where Chris was a starting outside linebacker and now he's just the quarterback. He doesn't have to worry about playing defense, of course, which is very helpful. And I ask everybody because, the development of what Chris Alviso has done over these season and a half, what's it been like from y'all's perspective? Of course, I know for you wouldn't really know too much, but for you, he had to take over QB1 after the first game last season due to an injury, and now he's the guy. He's leading this offense down the field every week. What's it like from your perspective knowing you have that quarterback on the other side of the ball that allows your offense to score points?
It's like knowing that QB can make a play, even if he messes up or a snap or a bad snap or has a bad ball. I know that he's gonna pick up his head and go out there and give us a touchdown at all given times. He has any kind of receivers. He has Gabe. He has Braylon. He has Andrew right here.
Yeah.
What are you? We have a QB right there.
Oh my God, ballers! I mean, I'm counting this right now: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 guys have caught a ball. Most of them probably from Chris Alviso. Even your backup quarterback, Caleb Shumpert, has caught a ball. It's insane that so many guys have caught a ball, and not only that, but I think I'm counting this right. 9 players have a receiving touchdown this year. It's absolute insanity knowing the depth that we have at the receiving position where coach is not scared to go 4 wide, as we've seen a lot. We see trips, we see the spread, all out of the pistol, of course, and just able to utilize all this is absolutely insanity. But obviously, let's take a couple weeks back. Let's take a look at Brownfield for a second. Obviously, it's very short and sweet. It's been 2 weeks, so I know you're not really looking at that anymore. But what was that game like for y'all? Obviously, knowing that you had a program like Brownfield who was winless, could have been seen as a trap game a little bit, but you, of course, got the win nonetheless. What was that experience like for y'all in that game specifically?
It was like just going out there and playing them as we play anybody else. We can't just see them as a losing team. We also play them as an opponent. You can't take anything lightly. You never know.
Right.
Even if they're losing, we could have a bad game and they end up beating us. Even if there's a losing team, you got to still go out there and play like we're going for the win because we know they want to beat us like we want to beat them. So it was a very great experience for us.
Same for you. Yep, I love it. Just retweet. Oh, I love it. So great. So then let's talk about the bye week and let's talk about this week. As coach, as we already talked with Coach a little bit, last week, of course, bye week, the whole district had a bye week, so everybody's kind of on an even playing surface. But now, when y'all learned late last week that this game got moved to Thursday, so talk to me what that preparation has been for y'all and y'all's position group individually, and then what it's like knowing that, hey, Monday we're ramped up, we're rolling. It's got it, as Coach said, the hay's in the barn on Wednesday. What's it like for y'all in this preparation leading up to Pecos?
Right now, it's just hey, we have a game Thursday. You got to come out here on Monday and practice like you never practiced before. It's a district. We got to go out there and get us a gold ball as a team. It's something that we haven't seen in forever. Especially my senior year, we have to go out there and play.
What's it been like for you?
We've been practicing really hard. After Friday, after we got that day off, we're like, all right, came as a group, and then we're like, we're going to go hard this week so we can get that win.
Hey, it's smart enough as it is. What are y'all seeing? Of course, you're both on defense. I know Andrew plays a little bit on offense, but let's focus on defense. What are y'all seeing from Pecos offense? What are y'all going to be facing on Thursday? What are y'all expecting? What are y'all preparing for and whatnot?
Right now, we're mostly prepared for the run game. even as a defense, we have to make sure we can stop the running game, make sure we can't get them up the gaps. If they come outside, make tackles. That's a big thing that we're focusing on right now is making tackles. As a defense, we have to make sure we wrap up and keep wrapping up and taking them down and has a rally as a team. And if we don't make tackles, we can't make plays. So tackles make plays as a defense.
I'm so glad that this is y'all are sharing the mindset of coaches, because of course it's no secret in those losses it's been the running game that's killed y'all in terms of as a defensive unit, where they've had heavy success, and of course that we always look back at that little bit game where that hell of a running back just did everything for them. And so I'm glad that y'all are sharing the same sentiment when it comes to having to make sure you tackle and wrap up and able to make things happen in that regard. So obviously, what does starting district mean for y'all? You know, obviously, y'all are 7 games in. You're guaranteed 4 more, but we're not going to worry about that 4th one. You're guaranteed 3 more in this regular season, 2 on the road, and then Andrew's at home. What does playing these district games mean for y'all as a player?
Playing these district games means for me as my senior year, we go in here, keep playing like we ever played before. Take every game serious and make sure we give it 100% at all times.
Yeah, come in locked in, get the win, worry about next week.
Fantastic. That pretty much covers the game, so I have a couple more personal questions I always ask all the athletes just to get to know you a little bit better. So first and foremost, Andrew, I want to start with you. Talk to me about this necklace. What's this? Who's this about, and what's up with it?
It's about my grandmother that passed away, so I just wear it.
Is that an everyday wear for you?
Actually, I just got it.
I just got it. So I guess, was it a gift? Did you get it yourself?
Yes,
what was it?
Gift.
Nice. That's awesome. Now, let's go into my usual questions that I always ask the athletes. Without saying swag surfing, we're not saying swag surfing. When you're in the weight room, when you're on the field, when you're in pregame trying to get in that mindset, ready to get going, what are you playing? Who is it? What artists? What songs? What are you putting on?
I don't know, to be honest. Probably me and Concho, we always share music, so it's like whatever he puts on, I'm listening to. Whatever I put on, he's listening to. So.
All right, DJ, so what is it?
What's that one song we always listen to? I forgot. It's a Spanish song, you know.
Spanish music, Latino?
Yeah, I was like, there's a lot of Spanish music.
Yeah.
What inspired this? Has that just been what it's been working for y'all, or is
Yes, sir.
Have y'all picked up any Spanish from it? Y'all just like the beat of it?
It just gets locked in for the game.
Here and there. Oh lordy. Okay. Who do y'all like? So control for you as a corner, for you as a safety, Andrew. What do y'all like to mimic your play style after? Is there any athlete current or in the past that has inspired you to be the play style that you have today?
Yes, sir. My inspiration was Devin Witherspoon.
Ooh, okay, that's a little bit of all right. What about him? What made you be like, yeah, that's who I want to be?
It was just like his grit for how he played the defense, and no matter if he's undersized or not, he just went there and did what he had to do on his job, and made sure his coverage and his hitting style was there. And he was always been my inspiration ever since I was a freshman in high school.
That's awesome. I like the deeper pool. I didn't expect somebody in high school to know Devin Witherspoon. That's great. What about for you?
Probably my dad.
Your dad? Really? So your dad play ball?
Yes, sir.
What is he? What was he? Was he also a safety? What did he do?
I think wide receiver.
Wide receiver?
He always gave me the inspiration, talks and everything. He said, go ball out, do everything. Me and him, we sit down, watch football, talk about it, and he just tells me, I go out there and do what he tells me.
Hey, you know, that's something great about the inspiration. Now, tell me, who is this up here in the front row holding the camera? Is that mom?
Yes, sir.
Is that mom and then sister?
No, that's my aunt.
Aunt? Your aunt? Oh, that's great. That's fantastic. I see you're a Niners fan, I take it?
No.
You're not. Your mom is? Who are you a fan of?
I don't really watch the NFL.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you have a college team you like? Who's
UT.
that? UT. My man. Hook 'em horns. Heck yeah. Love it. Control, you got a team? No.
I'm a Steelers fans with Braylon White. Braylon White Steelers fans.
You and Braylon White on the island over there, Steelers fans. You know what? I can respect that. I got a buddy who's a Steelers fan, so it ain't like you're alone here in San Angelo. You got other Steel City fans over there. Hey, but what are you thinking about Aaron Rodgers this far? Is you liking him as a quarterback, or are you finding the realization that he's a little bit more than what many people realize.
Yeah, I really wish we had Big Ben back. Big Ben.
Man,
Yeah.
Big Ben won't take another hit, man. You saw his last season. That dude was hobbling out there. Like, it was old man walking out there, man. It was crazy. What about what are you thinking about the UT season thus far? Are you? I know, yeah, a little, yeah. Hey, but hey, winning record still somehow have a chance to make playoff. It's kind of crazy, but still has a chance. I'm in the same boat as you. What are you thinking? What do you think needs to be better?
I don't even know. Just like at least better offense.
Yeah, I agree. As much as I love Arch, man, it's been a little rough. The play calling has not been my favorite. I miss that second year Arch, where those last 2 years of Quinn, where we had all that motion and the shifting, and we don't see it much. And I feel like that's really killing us right now. It's been really interesting. I'm gonna end this with the same question I ask everybody, because always talking about what makes you is important to me. Because for both of y'all, and you can take a second if you need to, but who is your biggest inspiration? Not just as a football player, but as a man in life. Who is your biggest inspiration and why?
I would say my biggest inspiration in life was my mother, because she went to college at LSU as a nurse and a volleyball player, and she had to end that shortly because she had to have me. And she really shows me that to do whatever you want to, you got to make sure you go out there and give your full effort at all times. And I just want to be able to relive her dreams for her, because she couldn't finish college, and I want to just go to college and do what I can for her, because she did everything she could for me.
Is that, while Andrew thinks about his answer, is that you want to go to college, you have a idea what you want to study, where you want to go?
Yes, sir.
What do you want to study and where do you want to go?
I was going to go to the University of Oklahoma for the study of mechanical engineering.
All right.
And also want to go out there for track, because
Oh yeah, no, I've been told you're a speedster, man. We've seen it live firsthand, so I don't doubt that for a second.
Yes,
that's pretty cool though. So is that like a conversation you're having to try to get out there on the track team? Is that just gonna be a walk-on opportunity?
Conversation I've been having.
I ain't judging, man. Whatever gets you some cheaper education for your family, I'm sure they'd enjoy it. So, what about you, Andrew? What's your answers to the ever important question?
Probably my grandma.
Grandma? What about her?
She just always helped everybody, and I want to be just like her. How she always helps everyone. If she sees you struggling, she's gonna go over there and help you. If she sees you happy, she's gonna be like, "What made you happy?" Just talk to you, and that's why I just want to be like her.
That's fantastic. Love the answers like that. I see some emotion coming out there. It always hits home for family, especially when you bring up the family of the past. But nonetheless, obviously here with you now. Beautiful necklace, but mine, dude. I want to make sure that's included. That's a beautiful necklace nonetheless. But gentlemen, I appreciate both of y'all's time, and I appreciate y'all being here, and I appreciate every single one of your teammates that come on here. So thank y'all so much. You can see these two great young men on Thursday night when the Chiefs travel to the Permian Basin area to take on Pecos. That's going to be on Thursday. Remember again, Thursday. Everybody knows Thursday. Guys, moved up from Friday due to a fishing shortage, whatever. Nonetheless, you can watch it live on Concho Sports Network on YouTube, Facebook, Amazon Fire, Roku TV. Search Concho Sports, you'll find us. On behalf of my broadcasting partner, Arthur Andrade, my directing and producing extraordinaire, Shay Harris, my name is Chad Miller, and as always, take care of each other and yourselves. Thank y'all, gentlemen, and thank y'all. Y'all have a fantastic night.